Hi, my name is Sunny Solanki, and in today's video I will explain how you can add basic authentication to your Streamlit dashboard or web app. We'll be adding a very basic authentication where we ask user for a login and password, and if login and password matches with a certain name and password, then we will let the user see the dashboard. Now if you are going to create a dashboard app which is seen by few of your friends or few of your colleagues in your organization, then this is a very good solution as it's quite basic. On the other hand, have a web app or dashboard which has some secure data and you don't want unauthorized people to see, then this is not a good solution. You should use SSO-based authentication, which I will cover in one of our upcoming video. But if you have a small application and you want to add basic authentication to that application, then this is a good starting point. All right, so without further ado, let's get started with the coding part. As you can see on my screen, I already have a Visual Studio Code open. So this is the editor that I'm going to use, and I already have a dashboard which I had created in one of my previous video. So what I will do is that I will try to add authentication to this dashboard, and I have saved the dashboard in the file name streamlit_authentication.py. So let me run this dashboard and show you how it looks. So I will run the dashboard by using command streamlit run, and then the name of the dashboard streamlit authentication.py. So let me run this and show you how the dashboard looks. As you can see on my screen, the dashboard is a simple one with simply two charts. So one is scatter chart and one is a stacked bar chart. So scatter the dataset is based on a famous the dashboard is based on a famous wine dataset which is available from Python machine learning library scikit-learn, and the dataset has information about various ingredients used in three different kinds of wine, which is class 0, class 1 and class 2. And scatter chart shows the relationship between ingredients, so we can change the ingredients from here, as you can see, and then I can select this checkbox which will color the points based on a wine type. And then I have multi-select for this stack bar chart. So the stack bar chart shows average values of ingredients for wine type, and I can add and remove various ingredients over here. So yeah, so this is the dashboard to which I will add authentication. Now if you want to learn how this dashboard is created, then I will include the link to that video in the description and also in the top right corner. So please feel free to check it if you want to create this dashboard. All right, so let's get with the coding part and add some authentication to the dashboard. So all right, so we are again in the editor, and as you can see, the part of my code, this part in line number 18, so this is responsible for loading the data, and the code below that line is my total dashboard. So this is title, markdown, then I have some widgets, then I have created a container, and then I have added two charts to that container. Okay, so I will be adding authentication code over here. So first of all, what I will do is that I will create a simple function named authenticate user. Now what this function does is that it simply displays two text input where user can enter username and password, and if user enters correct username and password, then this function returns true, else it returns false. So let's add text input, say label username, value will be initially empty. Key is the parameter where we can specify string to uniquely define this particular widget, which is a text input. So I will say user over here. Okay, so this is the username. The next one is password. I'll say password, and over here the key will be password. Now in case of password, there is a one more parameter named type which I need to set to password. so that it displays star instead of actual password. Now as of now I will return false from this method, and what I will do is that I will put if condition over here saying if authenticate user. If this method returns true, then create a dashboard and show it. The whole code will be moved inside this if condition. Okay, so now we have a function which authenticates user. Now we need to add one callback. So what that callback will do, when username or password is correct, then it will set one variable in our session saying authenticated and set it to true. Otherwise it will be set to false. And if that variable is set to true, then we will return true from this method. So there is a parameter name on change which we can call over here in text input, and we will over here call a method name creates entered, and same I will do for on change of the password as well. Say creates entered. All right, so let's declare that method name creates entered. Okay, now in this method I will check the username and password. If they are correct, then I will return true, else I will return false. So I can retrieve the username and password by calling st.sessionStateDictionary, and in this dictionary I need to give key name which I declared over here, username and password. So then I have a username, I will call strip, so some extra spaces are removed, and I will simply check it for admin over here. So if session stat username is admin and password is also admin, I will say password dot strip is double equal to admin. If both of these are true, so correct username and password, then this method will return true, else this method will return false. Okay, wait a minute, we don't need to return true from this method. We need to set session state variable as we discussed. So session state, I will say authenticated to true, and false otherwise. If it's a false, then I will also display an error saying that user invalid username or password, invalid username slash password. And we can also display emojis, so I will simply include emoji name which I know, the face with raised eyebrow. Okay, so all right, so what happens over here is that whenever you enter username or password in the text input, username and password, this method creates enter will be called. Each time it will check whether the username is correct and password. If it is, then it will set this variable name st.sessionState authenticated to true, else it will set it to false. Now in this method authenticate user, we will use that variable authenticated from the dictionary. So what I will do, first of all I will check that if authenticated is even present in the dictionary. I will say session state check. So this is the scenario when the user first time opens the app. So authenticated will not be present over there in that case. Else authenticated is present in the session state dictionary, but it can be set to either true or false. So if st.sessionState authenticated is set to true, then this method returns true. Else if authenticated is set to false, Then we again need to display this input username and password. Okay, so right, so and return false from here. We need to return false from here as well. So what is the flow over here? First time if the user comes and authenticated is not there in the dictionary, then we display this username and password, and this method returns false. Now if user changes any widget state, so he or she enters the password or username, then the Streamlit runs the script from the top. So when it runs the script from the top, now it has authenticated set, because every time we change username or password, this method will be called, which will set authenticated to true or false. So the second time when the script is run, authenticated is set, it will be set to either true or false. If it is set to true, then this method will return true and we will show user dashboard. But if it is set to false, then we will again display the username and password and return false. Okay, so all right, so that's it. We are almost done with our logic for checking the authentication user. So let's test this code. So let me run the script. So I will rerun our dashboard. Okay, okay, so it is saying that I don't have a key name authenticated. Just a minute. Authenticated, not in. So okay, I need to check not in. If authenticated is not in st.session state, then I need to display. If it is, then it should go in the else condition. So there was a minor mistake from my side. So let me bring the server up again. All right, so as you can see, now I can see username and password. So username and password in our case, I have set it to admin for both of them. So first of all, I will add admin. Now I have changed the state of the widget. If I move to next widget, the Streamlit will execute script from the top. So that's why you see invalid username password error getting displayed, because I haven't entered password over there yet, and by default passwords goes empty string. So if I enter admin over here again, then it will go into the dashboard. But if I say let's enter some wrong password, ABCD, then it will keep displaying this error to me. But let's say I enter correct password, then as you can see, it lets me log in and I can play with the dashboard. Right, so as you can see, let me refresh and bring the login port again. So we can, over here, what we can do when we enter admin and we move to next step, it showed us invalid usernames less password. So over here password is not entered. So what we can do, in case password is not entered, we can display a warning saying please enter password. So let's do that. So over here, what I will do, that if st.session state of password, if password is not set, then I will display a warning saying please enter password. Same I can do for username as well. If a person has not entered username, okay, so there is a minor indentation related issue. Let me correct that. Right, and This will be the L if, and the last one will be else. So what we are doing over here is that so first we check for password. If password is not present, then we show warning, please enter password. And if username is not present, let's say, then we say please enter username. But both are present, but they are wrong. So the username or password is not correct. Then we display this error. So let's rerun the code. Okay, so I have admin over here. Okay. C.session state password. Let me just rerun the server again. Okay, so admin. Okay, so as you can see, as I move to password, it now shows me error saying password not present. Now if I enter admin over here, then it locks in. So let me do one more thing. Let me miss the username. Let me try to enter the password. So as you can see, if I miss username, it says please enter username. So let me enter correct username and password, and yeah, so we are able to log into our dashboard and see. As you can see, with just few lines of code, this code over here, just see two simple functions, we were able to add a basic level of authentication to our dashboard. And as I said in the beginning, this is a very basic level of authentication. If you do not have any critical application, and you can share data with others on the internet, then this kind of basic authentication is good. But if you have a critical application, then you need to use SSO-based authentication, which I will cover in one of our upcoming video. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial. If you like this tutorial and you feel that you learned something new today, then give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and yeah, see you next time.